Alright, are you guys ready for part 2 of the Sims Project Rene saga / drama? And the reason why I say that is because it is turning heads in the Sims community. And a lot of players are honestly really upset about this, but I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I really don't know how to feel because this is exactly what I expected. You know, everything that the Sims team has told us about Project Rene in the past has led us to believe it's gonna be this online multiplayer microtransaction battle pass having ass game. This does not come as a surprise to me, but if it comes as a surprise to you, I gotta say, you shoulda saw this coming. So I have a whole video on part 1 of the mega leak from DZXANT22 over on Reddit. If you haven't seen part 1 of that video, make sure you go and check that out right now before watching this video. So now to get into part 2, the user writes over on Reddit, "Hello, this post is a part 2 to my original post from a few days ago. A link to that can be found here in case you missed it. As per tradition, I will be leaving my feedback out of my post and only displaying the facts." Rubs hands together. Oh boy, what do we have this time? Huge thank you to the Sims data mining community. Many notable figures in there that helped with these discoveries. Some wish to be unnamed, which I will respect, and huge thank you to Vegetable Ear 4141 or the Sarah Milani for posting the IMGUR links. For now, let's begin with the new info. I will be separating this post into 4 sections, similarly to the folder structure in the game files. So we have more today on CAS, Garage, the hub, live mode, and more miscellaneous. All of these elements can be seen in better detail in the screenshots associated with them. We start with Create a Sim, and these are findings from the data miners for Project Rene, those that have dug into the code of the games, their alpha games. This is where most of the interesting stuff comes from, though the playtest did not allow for us to create our own Sims. This build actually contains a very early version of what we're going to see in Create a Sim. There's a lot of info to go through here, so it's a very long bullet list, guys. Tailoring HQ was the original name for the clothing workshop. First look at Create a Sim debug. A lot of these definitely do look like some of the prototype scenes that we have seen from Project Rene previously, especially that blue looking mask surrounding the sim. There were references to fine-tuning, body frame, body height, clothing layering, and clothing workshop. So height sliders, I guess, are referenced here in the code, which is interesting because up until now, we have never seen actual height sliders in any Sims game. That is officially released by EA, not counting mods and CC, of course. So I thought that was really interesting. Tweens are confirmed. So I guess preteens, right? Within the char folder, there are references to humans and horses. So it looks like we are getting some sort of animals, or could receive them when the game officially launches. I don't want to say that's confirmed because just because something is in the code doesn't mean it's actually coming. There was code for horses in The Sims 4 long before, many years before Horse Ranch came out. So this could really not amount to much. Horses are editable in CAS. There is also a unicorn variant. Okay, maybe this will be launching with the initial release of the game. Mobility aids, only 1 at the moment for wheelchairs. Oh my gosh. So accessibility representation with Project Rene. You know what? I'm not here for Project Rene, but I am here for physical disability representation. Upper variants let you customize from preset tops to your liking. Change sleeves and collars on your shirt. Fat controls, yes, actually called that, is used internally to make body weight significantly more realistic. Fat controls in quotes go very in-depth, ranging from all parts of the body to a heavy focus on the face. Various body type customization, mainly shapes and sizes. Various garments, including bags, bracelets, socks, watches, scarves, etc. Those really don't surprise me. Possible careers include student, poet, gardener, and chef. The poet doesn't shock me, as it was one of the character backstories or descriptions from one of the playtests. I talked about this in part 1, and the chef kind of doesn't surprise me either, as one of the main tasks when you do play this, or at least the demo, the alpha demo that we've seen surface, you are working in a cafe. Not necessarily a chef, but sort of similar. CAS menu tile. sim height adjustment icons, pants thumbnail files, unicorn accessory model for horses, facial hair, hair loss, and various hairstyles. You know, at this point, we are all very much aware that this is an alpha build, but it definitely looks like a mobilified version of The Sims 4. From the meshing to the hairstyles, I will say this latest playtest was on mobile and there is an image surfacing, which I will include right here. I'm assuming this is from the PC version with a much higher resolution, and I gotta say, it looks a million times better than whatever mobile crap has leaked online, but it still doesn't look as good to me as The Sims 4 does, though I will say the way they baked the lighting definitely is an improvement. It looks like there are realistic lumen levels, which I really appreciate in modern games. A lot of games that are made in Unreal Engine 4 and 5 have this now. Definitely don't know if this is made in Unreal Engine. Honestly, I doubt it. I know EA has in-house softwares that they're most likely using. So the next section is Garage. The Garage folder contains stuff relating to the story. The only notable thing in here right now are two placeholder artworks of the protagonists named Josie and Rachel. The concept art for these characters can be found here. Up next is the Hub. The Hub is essentially the area that was being playtested. It is a public space for all multiplayer and UGC related things, UGC standing for user generated content. Players can either join their friends or select in quotes quick play to join a random session with random players. It includes a in quotes for you section, in quotes marketplace, in quotes multiplayer, and in quotes UGC folders. To be clear, the Hub is the only place you can matchmake and meet random players. The rest of the game can be played solo if you wanted. The in quotes for you section, purely speculation at this time. The marketplace section, used purely just for DLC. DLC videos will be able to autoplay, have various sizes, thumbnails, etc. Icons for the Hub have also been uncovered, showcasing Simbucks currency, likely MTX. So we have discovered Simbucks is going to be a currency in Project Rene, and I'm assuming you earn Simbucks by doing tasks, completing goals or to-dos, and I think we saw this in part 1 with a lot of those gameplay clips that were shared. You know, if you do certain things, you earn Simbucks. But I'm also thinking, since this game is likely going to be riddled with microtransactions, that you're probably going to be able to pay real money in exchange for these Simbucks, a la mobile games. Up next, the multiplayer section contains everything related to MP in the Hub. You can invite players, search for lobbies, get notifications from others. It's a separate part of the game used mainly in the Hub area. Ability to invite other players to your neighborhood, kick players from your neighborhood, invite players to a party, have the ability to call other players, mute and unmute microphone, deafen, undeafen, similar to Discord call. Oh geez, I can already see the problems with this. Thankfully, you can mute everyone that's talking in whatever server you're in, and also mute yourself if you don't want to talk. But the fact that you can join a random session with random players and also have voice chat, it's gonna get abusive, I already know. I will probably be sticking to private lobbies. That is if I ever even decide to play this game, which, you know, judging by the fact that it is free to play and will be from launch, I probably will give it a shot just to give it a review. But as far as enjoying the game off camera, I don't see that happening for myself, honestly. The UGC section, user generated content, has curated user generated items, basically custom content becoming much more accessible. Doesn't require you to visit external websites to download custom content anymore. So it seems like they're taking a page from Inzoi's book, where they're gonna have a custom content and modifications inside the game. So you won't need to go to the Sims resource or go onto Tumblr, download a million package files, put them in your mods folder. You're gonna be able to do all of this from inside the game, which is honestly kind of exciting. The Hub section will also have promotions, including a season's pass, weekly events, and new purchases becoming available. Yikes, there it is, there it is, there it is. You know, I knew this from some of the headlines from articles that have been talking about this data mining session, Battlepass. It is a word that we all know and a word that some of us will hate. I know I am one of those people. It's going to have that. So I'm guessing that you're gonna have to pay to get exclusive items, and it will likely be a monthly thing or a pass. So every time there's a new season pass, you're gonna have to pay, then you work to unlock certain things. They're definitely trying to make this version of The Sims Project Rene Fortnite, which I guess I wanna say isn't a bad thing per se. They definitely wanna capitalize on that market, which is a huge moneymaker, by the way. I just don't think it's going to work for The Sims. I just really don't. All right, so up next is our biggest section, and this one is is Live Mode. Files contain a rather pretty looking concept art for the city. Icons for sim motives. We have Live Mode icons including play, pause, controls, moods, motive increase/decrease, etc. Live Mode folders contain low detail debug sim models. Most are unnamed except for one, Rory. A horse model was found in the files, however, it looks to be the same one used in The Sims 4, likely placeholder. Play neighborhood menu tile, likely placeholder. Matchmaking menu title. Find a game menu title. Create a game menu title. And create a sim menu titles, all likely being placeholders. Functional metro system, used for traveling between areas. So is this a rabbit hole? Times of day, afternoon, dawn, dusk, midday, morning, night, sunrise, and sunset. There is a weather system, so I guess there won't be a seasons pack or a seasons DLC. We're likely getting weather in the base game, and just like Lindsay Pearson mentioned previously, if we're gonna get festivals or activities, those are the types of things that are probably gonna be behind paywalls as DLC, or possibly part of that season pass they want you to pay monthly for. Objects can be burnt, dirty, or covered in snow, so seasons is probably confirmed with that. City controls includes things like street lamps and city lights. Interestingly, also contains references to a mural and workshop modes. Sim activity icons. Friendships have 4 levels: unacquainted, neutral, friendly, and close. Every single social icon. Those are visual icons that appear above Sims' heads, depending on what they're talking about. The Reddit user writes, the live mode in this build is rather fleshed out in the files compared to what we saw in the playtest. Most of the core Sims mechanics are present, such as sim aging and being able to control multiple Sims in a household. Now, the last section that we have here is miscellaneous. This section includes misc information about the game that we found interesting enough to share. This game uses volumetric clouds. Wow, that's kind of surprising given that they're clearly opting for more performance instead of visual. And this game uses parallax interiors. Also, here are spreadsheets including every single interaction, emotion, objects, and more organized in CSV format. I won't be going over this in detail as there are a lot, so make your own discoveries. And extra gameplay screenshots. These are new and were not included in the first initial posting for the Project Rene alpha playtest leak. So that's gonna be it for our part 2 data mine. Of course, huge shout out to the poster of this over on Reddit, DZXANT22, for organizing this in such an easy to read format with everything included. I'm curious to know what you guys think about this, so share all of your thoughts down below on Project Rene. Does this kind of make you more excited or not so much? Definitely share your thoughts below. That's gonna be it for me, and I'm sure there's going to be more coming in the near future. And of course, when that does happen, I will be back as soon as possible to share the latest and greatest, or sometimes not, with you guys. Thanks for watching, take care, and happy life simming. Bye guys.